Hey guys, it's Xenophon here. So today we're going to be playing the Old World Blues mod for Hearts of Iron 4. If you don't know, Old World Blues is a complete overhaul, which brings us to the year of 2275 in the Fallout universe. There are a huge number of factions with unique stories in this mod, including the New California Republic, Caesar's Legion, New Vegas, and a whole bunch of Brotherhood chapters, as well as tons that were made specifically for the mod and otherwise. That being said, today we're going to go ahead and go back to the series' roots with the Western Brotherhood of Steel. Now, the Western Brotherhood is surrounded on all sides now by the ever-growing New California Republic, or NCR, and the future is definitely uncertain. We will bring order to the wasteland, but first we have to prepare, so ad Victoriam. To start our preparation, we're going to go ahead and go down the national focus tree. The first national focus we just finished. Most of this is going to be a good bit of lore. I'll allow you guys to go ahead and read it, but I'll sum up the basic idea and then make the decision. So this decision is about the founder of the Brotherhood before the bombs ever fell and before the apocalypse hit. So Captain Maxon basically found a group of scientists before the bombs fell who had been experimenting on unwilling test subjects. So we basically have to decide whether he kills them or whether he decides that their knowledge of science is too important. In this case, we're going to go ahead and say that he slew them, for there is such thing as too much science. As the Brotherhood, we do seek to keep science from going too far, and we seek to control it very, very guardedly. Sometime later in the history of the Brotherhood, in around 2134, there's a petition sent out to raid the remnants of a West Tech research facility. So the Sergeant Dennis Allen, who was in charge of this faction of the Brotherhood, was approved as the discovery was worth the risk. Later, there's a raider gang called the Vipers who begin to stir up trouble. So at this point, the Brotherhood sends out a small group to deal with this band, as they think that the superior firepower and such will be enough to deal with it. And in charge of the group is High Elder Maxon II, so the son of the original founder of the Brotherhood. Now, he was killed, and in retaliation, the Brotherhood avenged Maxon and sent out a large contingent to deal with the Vipers. Now, as time went on, the Enclave became a general threat in the area. This is something you can experience in the first Fallout games. So, at the Battle of Navarro, the final stand of the Enclave, we have the option here of abandoning the NCR in order to gain Navarro's secrets. However, in this case, we decided that we would defend the men and women of Maxon, earning their loyalty, and in such gaining the national spirit of Maxon's bulwark. So we help out the NCR and protect them from the threat and overcome the Enclave together. As a consequence of this decision, there was a major change to the very spirit of the Brotherhood. The NCR didn't quite understand the depth of this sacrifice that was made, as many people died after the decision was made to defend them. That being said, we do gain a group of disbanded militias that are loosely associated with the Brotherhood of Steel. Their name is the Maxon Brigade. So right down here you can see the Maxon Brigade in all its glory. We've got two groups of veteran level soldiers, as well as a few just basic recruits, with a total of 8. We also gain the unit leader, Lieutenant Smith, formerly of the NCR. So at this point we've finished the main branch of the national focused tree. So I'm gonna begin to work down some basic other focuses. Some of them are pretty interesting, but it's quite a bit of reading. That being said, To start off, I'm focusing on our might and upgrading our ability to engage with our power armor. Now, we can also see right up here the Desert Rangers, in affiliation with the NCR, have just declared war on a gang here, which you might recognize from earlier as the Vipers. So the group that took out the second elder of the Brotherhood. So surely enough, that will give us a little bit of hope, though we surely wish that we could have been the ones to bring justice upon them. So as of right now, we aren't exactly at peak performance, so we are currently only able to produce scavenged power armor, as our production lines are not fully set up at this time, as well as only common energy weaponry. Now I have begun quite a bit of the research, so mostly we've been focusing on the civilian sector at the moment, and then soon enough we'll try and go after the power armor. However, we are quite a few years ahead of time, so it's a very long research period at the moment. That being said, we do also have land doctrine going, so we are going down the refined warfare path. So using superior tactics as well as superior firepower, we hope to bring purity and principle to the wasteland. We have set up a scavenging program called the Department of Procurement, I believe. Now we are sending some scavengers out now, our first real mission, and we will be providing them with power armor, which we have gained from this focus right here. We gained 400 units of American T-45D power armor. At the moment, we're working on getting the slightly superior T-51B production, but we don't quite have that yet. One other thing we really need to focus on here is our manpower, displayed right up here. At the moment, we only have 3,800 soldiers in reserve. So at the moment, we are going to be also internally restructuring and perhaps allowing a little bit more flexibility, as it's obvious that the tradition of only recruiting from within the Brotherhood and its sons and daughters is not going to work for long-term survival, as well as for the ability to expand into greater territory. Now, unfortunately, that band that we sent out in power armor were attacked. Fortunately, some of them survived, and as said here, it was an epic battle that left dozens dead. But the issue is that some of the raiders were fielding power armor, so that's quite an issue. That does mean that we managed to get some back from them, but not nearly as much as we lost. One other way that we can deal with our population problem is to host nationwide assimilation drives for refugees fleeing other wars nearby. Now at the moment, it's not exactly going to be super worth it for the political power cost compared to the amount of refugees we'll be getting. That being said, I will be doing a little bit of this here and there, especially as we get large influxes of refugees. Now, the most major change that we're making in terms of our national focus tree is we have now begun to recruit from outsiders, and we are now working on giving outsiders the ability to be promoted up to the rank of Knight of the Brotherhood of Steel. We've also begun some tech reallocation, and we will be going through advanced communication, and then finally to surface tensions, where we begin to actually pay a little bit more attention at what goes on in the wasteland. You can also see that we finished our little branch here and gotten steel legions. Standing side by side, our men form a wall of unbreakable strength. We get division attack +5 and division defense +5 for that one, which is so pretty good. So some major updates just to get away from the manpower issue. So the Washington Brotherhood, who are traitors to the cause as far as I'm concerned, they are bandits, warmongers, and slavers. but they are about to win their war with the Cause, a group of bandits to their south. Now Troll Warren, a group of super mutants led by the First, is expanding a bit as well, and they've gained some territory here. Likely they will clash with the Washington Brotherhood soon enough, though I doubt that they will be enough to completely handle them. So down here in Texas, we have the Texan Brotherhood. It hasn't been making too much progress. It did grab one little group of raiders down here and is now finally taking out the Gator Maws, going for Alexandria. Now, the Maxon chapter, it has done very little, but unfortunately we did just lose the Hidden Valley bunker, as well as the Mojave chapter, to the Mojave territories of the NCR. This is unfortunate and definitely a blow to our relationships with the NCR and its allies. So, interestingly, another bit of news from the Wasteland. The legate, Lanius, who was sent to go east while Caesar focuses on the west, has just defected from the Legion and married the goddess leader of twin mothers named Diana. So this is quite interesting, and the Legion under Caesar now faces a new threat on their eastern border, as well as the New California Republic to the west. So this might mean the downfall of Caesar's Legion in the future, which we will definitely agree with and help to facilitate in any way we can. So we have just finished the Surface Tensions National Focus, and I'm going to go ahead and read it since it's pretty important. For decades, the Brotherhood of Steel has refused to engage in outside activities, often leading the people of the Wasteland out on a limb when it comes to protection in favor of more lucrative operations gathering technology. This has not only hurt our public image, but also our moral as a force for good. It is time for the Brotherhood of Steel to again be proactive. Along with that, we are now focusing on trying to take out the She, which we will have the option of either puppeting or coring and making a part of us. So everything has remained pretty similar. The Texan Brotherhood has been successful with its attack, and the Washington Brotherhood has now taken on the Deadly Maw, something like that. The Maw, the Maw, which was another group of raiders down here. So we've got some threats growing, as well as a potential friend down here. The NCR is pretty much doing the same things. It did capture Umbra to our north, which is unfortunate, as that was one of our main targets. So it's a shame that I let that one slip out of my hands, but other than that, it's looking good, and we are now focusing. We have a Navy, we have research going into an Air Force, and we are preparing to become a more powerful force in the Wasteland. So with that, I am going to leave it off here for this video. That being said, it's been good to be back. It's been quite a few years since I made my last video. I know that this video is not perfect, and it's been a while since I've talked in front of a mic, so I apologize for any awkwardness or any difficulty in my speaking. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Please leave a like and subscribe if you liked it.